Hi there. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how to get a less airy sound on the flute, or just in general, a better sound. If you're a beginning player and you're getting an airy sound, I want you to double check how your head joint is lined up with your keys. So if you look at it, the blowhole should either be lined up with the keys or slightly turned in. If it's turned out away from the keys and away from your mouth too much, you will definitely get an airy sound. So I'm going to demonstrate. Where I have the blowhole in comparison to my keys, the sound I get on a middle B is this. If I roll my head joint out, away from my mouth, I get this sound. Do you hear how there's a little bit more air, a little bit more buzz? I'm going to turn it out just a little bit more. I think even in this video you can hear how the air is dispersing in all directions and not enough of the air is actually going into the flute itself. So we're getting that airy, buzzy sound. Now, if you've been playing more than 6 months and perhaps for several years, and suddenly you're getting an airy quality of sound, then there's definitely something else going on. You can double check the alignment of the blowhole to the keys, but beyond that, something else is at play. If you ask the experts or your teacher, they'll simply say, well, you're not lining up your air flow with the blowhole. And you know what? There are so many exercises out there and on YouTube that you can check out and play around with where you're lining up the head joint, the blowhole, and your mouth. But here's the problem with that. The more you focus on the quality of your sound, sometimes the worse it gets. Why is that? The number one factor in why the tone is airy is because you are tense. The harder you work at something, the more tension you're putting into your body, and that's going to translate into a thinner, tighter, airier sound. Think of all the different factors that are at play in creating our tone on the flute. We have our mouth position, so the muscles of our lips, the muscles of our jaw, the muscles in our neck, muscles in our shoulder. All of these things can become rigid, tense. The moment that happens, that's going to impact your sound. Because where does your sound come from? Right here, your lungs, right? So if you're tightening up and trying to get that sound like, I had this yesterday, where's my sound? The harder you try, the worse it's going to get. But this is so frustrating because as musicians, we've been told, well, if you want to learn how to do something, you just keep practicing, keep going, push through. Well, here's the thing, you can't do that. I read something brilliant online when I started researching this more, because this is something I've struggled with throughout my life. And it said, the flute is made of metal, your body is not. So you can put a little bit of effort into improving your sound. But after 5 minutes, if it's not getting better, do you know what the best thing you can do is? Put the flute down, walk away, take a break. One of the leading causes of tension in flute playing is, of course, over practice. And you'll know that you've gone too far with your practicing when you start getting that thin, airy, tight, buzzy sound. Things that can lead to a thinner sound are things like exercises that focus on the high register, low register, intervals between the different registers, slurring octaves, anything that requires a lot of manipulation of the muscles in the mouth and lips. It's important to take a lot of breaks, but if the quality of your tone starts to go down, starts to deteriorate, that's a sign that it's time to take a break. Not that it's time to work harder. Your body is sending you a message. it's important to listen. One last tip for all of you. I found that if I've tried everything else and I still am getting that thin, airy, buzzy sound, that perhaps I'm more tense than just in my mouth. And I'll actually try having a warm bath or a warm shower. For some reason, that just helps to relax the entire body, including, of course, the mouth. And when I come back to the flute, suddenly my sound is more resonant, more relaxed. So if you've tried everything else and you're pulling your hair out and you're ready to chuck your flute out the window in frustration, go have a relaxing bath. You might find that your sound suddenly opens up. As someone who's battled on and off with airy sound and tension throughout my flute career, I truly hope that this video was helpful. Please feel free, if you've tried these tips and you're still struggling, I would be happy to help out in any way or troubleshoot with you and problem solve. At the end of the day, only we ourselves know our own bodies and what's going to work best for us. So if you found this video in any way helpful, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.